Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King and I Life podcast. It's your boys, Soul Touch of the Poet and my brother.
Sounds so Lex.
Hey, we talking about family gatherings or family feud. How do you plan for the holidays or just in general? Um, you know where to get at us, man. So you already know. So we jumping back into it. So along with cultural, do you think this is more of a northern thing or a southern thing when it comes to family gatherings?
Um, it's kind of hard to say because honestly, when we have our family gatherings, mostly everybody from up north come down south. I can't even tell you the last time we even had a family gathering where it was up north. Um, it's kind of weird though, thinking about it now. Yeah, we
Yeah.
hell, I can't even remember the last time we have we even had a. Okay, no, we haven't. We haven't. We planned one year. One year we planned one, and I want to say the furthest up that was like Virginia,
hmm
and for whatever reason, it never did manifest itself. I don't know if the host at that time resolved it or what happened, but it never came to pass.
Wow.
Um, so again, it's always been everybody up north comes down south.
Mm.
But
Um.
how about on your end?
Okay. So again, my side of the family, from as far as I know, has never had a gathering. Um. Now, my younger sister, we have different fathers.
All right.
Her family, they would get together, and I can remember being up in New York, they would do something up there, or when her grandmother moved to Ohio, we would go to Ohio. We'd come back from Germany and go to Ohio for the summers and do stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, when I graduated from high school and my mother sent me to Florida, our family down there would gather, but nobody ever came up to New York that I could remember.
Mhm.
So it was either us going somewhere Midwest or South, or already being there and being involved in it. But I would I would venture to say for our people,
Mhm.
um, it's more of a Southern thing, more of a Southern tradition
All right.
that got brought north. Um, and I kind of say that because when our people were brought over, they were mostly in the South, and that's where they did all of that. So I would venture to say that's the reason why it's more of a Southern thing than a Northern thing.
I can feel that. I can feel because when we have ours, people come from California, New York, um, North Carolina, South Carolina, some from Tennessee, Louisiana, uh, Chicago,
Hmm.
Nevada.
Damn, Nevada, all the way out there.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like motherfuckers just descend on Alabama. Either Alabama or Atlanta. That's where we gathering at.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. But yeah, I don't. I think that's I just personally think that's more of a Southern thing than it is a Northern thing.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can even remember my sister's grandmother when she was in New York, and even when uh they moved down here to Maryland, she would always go down to I believe she used to go down to Alabama. It was either Alabama or Mississippi, one of them, but she would go down there every goddamn year. And I think she used to hop on either the train or the Greyhound, and she would pack a little grandma bag and be out. She would be out. She'd be
Wow.
going for like 3, 4 days.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Didn't let her age stop her.
Boy, not at all. She used to always say she was sweet 16. You couldn't tell her nothing. You couldn't tell her nothing. 70, 80 years old. I'm sweet 16. How
Wow.
you doing, grandma? I'm kicking it. Yep.
So, what are the rules of engagement and who sets them?
I think um let's see. I'm going to say with my experience, it's always the grandmother who sets the rules of engagement
Hmm.
because it's like, okay, so for me, there was always a woman as the head of the family, being that, we always had broken families and stuff like that. Although we did have, certain people who were married, or if, you know, grandfather, whoever just wasn't around because they passed away or whatever. But
Yeah.
um in every experience that I had, whether it was with my sister's family or with, either one of my sister's families, it was always the grandmother that was, setting the rules of engagement. It's like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you got to do this, you got to do that, and it all came from her, and everybody knew to fall in line.
Right. So, that's pretty much how it is on my side of, or my family too. Everybody falls in line with the eldest female, um, and because when my grandmother passed away, that passed down to my mom. So when my mom passed away, it passed down to my sister or my
Hmm.
older sister. Even though I have, older aunts, and we have older aunts,
Hmm.
but they just leave it all up to her now. They pretty much pass everything on to her. So her thing is pretty much just like my mom and my grandma used to do it.
Hmm.
Everybody knows to, if you show up, there's a certain way you're going to act. You're
Right.
not. You can drink as much as you want to, but if you start getting rowdy or out of hand, your ass is out of here.
Mhm.
Um,
Do-do-do-do.
you know that if you come, you are expected to bring something, meaning
Mm,
either a dish or some plastic forks or some
mm.
sodas or something. Your ass ain't just gonna come there and get what you want and dip. It's like, no, that's not a good thing as far as we're concerned.
When it comes to that, when I was younger, um, from what I always saw, it was always you just come.
Mhm.
If you brought something, you brought something. If you or sometimes if you brought something, you might get a talking to. Like, what are you doing? Like, we got everything here. So I
Mhm.
mean, it was like that. Yeah. So, what about when it comes to blessing the food?
That has fallen upon my shoulders. Um, it used to be my grandmother's her job,
Mm-hmm.
as far as my dad's side of the family, and she'll still do it now, but it just depends on how she feels. If she feels
Mm-hmm.
good that day, she'll do it. If not, then it falls on my shoulders.
Mm,
On my mom's side of the family, um, I'll say that falls on my older cousin's shoulders
mm-hmm.
now. Um, Either that or my eldest. No, I take that back. My youngest auntie, she'll bless the food and everything.
Mm.
But yeah, on my dad's side of the family, it's pretty much falling on my shoulders, and I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Right.
say whatever it is I need to say, or um, try to be as appropriate about it as
what
possible.
what does that even mean?
Because I'm not all with the uh, you know what I'm talking about, man. I
Uh-huh.
try to give thanks for the people who get their ass up and go to work, and for
Uh,
the ancestors and things along that line. I'm not finna bless someone I never fucking or praise someone. You know what I mean? Like blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm not gonna do that.
Come
And
on now, don't do that because you know Jesus was black.
yeah, yeah, it's clearly there in the Bible. They're clearly there, but you know, some members of my family they still got that white Jesus up on their wall, and I'm like,
Oh Lord.
stop it, man, stop it. But anyway, I try to be as respectful
Oh
to everyone
man.
there as possible. But I mostly when I give grace, they already know he's gonna give grace to the ancestors first and
Mm.
foremost. So that's just how it go.
Um, let me see. With my younger sister side of the family, it was always her grandmother that give grace. So I believe, if I remember correctly, it was either her or one of her sons that did it. Now, my other sister side of the family that I'm close with, grandma would give the grace, and everybody would have to give some type of Bible verse or some kind of blessing or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Um, and I used to hate that, yo. I used to hate it because it was like I was never a Bible stomper, so it was like, oh no, no goddamn Bible verse that I could say with this. So it was like when I was young, I would have somebody next to me just say Jesus wept. Jesus wept. so, so as long as you said something, you was good. But if you didn't say nothing, grandma was gonna give you that eyeball, and it wasn't gonna be good for you the rest of the night. But yeah, it was only a few times where like me or my male cousin or somebody else had to give the blessing, and I would give it as short as I could because it's like, all right, if I gotta do it, I gotta do it. But it's like I didn't want to do it. I mean, it was never no. I'm not no blonde hair, blue eye. It was never none of that. Just like I just did not want to do it. And
Right.
then as I got older, it was like I really don't want to do that. Like I really don't want to do that because it's like I'm looking at. Anyway, I just didn't want to do it. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. It's always for me when I do it. I consider it an honor to do it.
Hmm.
There at the beginning, I was like, man, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
Right.
You know what I'm
Like, come
saying?
on.
But the more I've done it, the more it's fallen in place for me. So I'm just at that place where I don't mind doing it. I actually look forward to doing it.
Mm, yeah.
And again, because they know who I am now, or kind of accepted who I am now, and
Hmm.
they know that I'm not gonna be all religious about it. I'm just gonna give grace to our ancestors and to the Creator,
Oh my
but I'm not gonna be
God.
over here. Thank you, Jesus, and I'm not gonna do that.
Hallelujah. Nah, not
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah, I'm
Not,
not.
nah, we're not doing all that. Come on, stop. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
do your thing. Worship whoever you want to
Yeah.
worship, but
I don't give a damn if you bow your head, close your eyes, and just think about football. Just
that's
like,
it.
yo,
That's it.
whatever.
But
Mm,
yeah, I enjoy doing it now.
yeah. But it's whatever.
So when it comes down to blessings, seedings, um, well, I guess we already went over blessings, but
Yeah.
seeding, how do y'all seat yourself?
Um,
Go about that.
seating when I was younger, it was sit in a specific place. But as I got older, it was more of a you sit where the hell you want to sit.
Hmm.
But when grandma was alive, it was you better sit your ass at that table. Unless the table is full. Unless the table is full, then you go ahead and
Uh,
sit your ass at the couch with one of those little tray things.
yeah,
So I mean, that's how the seating was. It's like if the table ain't full, you sit your ass at the table. And then and that's another thing I used to hate. I mean, I was cool with it, but I hated it because it was like I felt like I had to be proper just because.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Yeah. That and I didn't want to look like the greedy one. But we'll get to that part when we get down to that specific part because every goddamn holiday
Yeah.
there was one thing that was made extra because of me, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, seating, sit your ass at the table unless the table was full.
Seating nowadays is really for the older generation and the kids.
Mhm.
Everybody else, just wherever your ass can find a place to sit down, that's where your ass sit. Uh, Again, whether that's on the front porch or out in the guest house or um, underneath the carport or in the den or in the
Mm.
living room, just wherever your ass can find a seat, that's where you sit.
Yeah, you know what? And I agree with the the adults per se and the kids
Hmm.
because it's like the kids you got to keep an eye on their ass.
Yeah.
The grown folks, they just want to sit down and eat.
Mhm.
Now, the rest of us, we want to eat, talk shit. So it's like, hey, where you sitting? Like, I'm going over here. All right, let's go over here. So you gather up in your little clique or whatever the case may be. Y'all sit there, eat. The grown folks are sitting there eating. They either quiet or talking about a conversation that you ain't trying to be a part of,
Mhm.
and you don't want to get stuck in it. And the kids is like, whether they're your kids, your little cousins, little nieces, or whatever, you just want to get the hell away from them because it's like, I don't want to deal with you. You don't want to eat. You want to throw your food. You want to play. You want to cry. You want to whine. I ain't got time for that shit. I want to go over there with my people where I can eat and we can talk shit.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to like Thanksgiving, there's a particular order that everybody's allowed to get food.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it goes from the kids first,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yep.
the elders,
Mm-hmm.
then it's everybody else. So you pretty much got to get in where you fit in, meaning your ass got to get in line after the younger people and the older people have gotten their food. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And but my thing is with my family that's here, it was
mhm.
kind of like the same way, except grandma and my sister's mother, they typically ate last, no matter who was there.
Oh wow.
But the kids would get their plates. But that's back in the day. The kids would get their plates, then the elders would get their plates, and then everybody else get their plates. But it was never like a free for all until like grandma passed, and then it's like you gonna make your plate? Like, yo, come on, let's go. All right, shit, let's go eat.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely say here lately, um, it hasn't been that way so much because there's not so many elders anymore,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. Um, so and the young kids are grown up. I think my son is the last of the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everybody else is either in their teens or early 20s now.
No, okay.
So that's pretty much how it goes now. But um, all right, yeah. We'll move on. We'll move on. I'll say it.
So does the children table still exist today?
Mm, no, no, it doesn't.
Mm-mm.
Because again, all the kids are pretty much teenagers now.
Right. Yeah.
Um, the newer generation, they're coming in now, so that it's still like the elders and the kids all sitting at the dining room table, but a specific table just for the kids, that's pretty much non-existent now.
Yeah, it is. Cause like I have a sister who has, I think she has a son around the age of your son, or maybe a little older, and one that's younger than your son.
Mhm.
Um, but it's like when she comes, her and her husband coming with the kids, they'll come early, eat, and dip. Um, but if anybody else comes, like nobody really has kids that are that young anymore. But if they, whatever age those kids are, they're at the dinner table now where we used to sit, and we're either on the couch, you know, upstairs in the bedroom, this, that, and the other. So yeah, I don't think uh, I guess if there's a lot of kids, then there's a children's table. But if not, there's no. Mm-mm. You sitting on somebody's lap, or you sitting at the big table on
Yeah.
some phone books and shit.
So how about television though?
Television has always been on with my family. Um, yeah, every holiday's been on. I mean, if you look at Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's always been on. On Thanksgiving, it's always football or whatever the case, and Christmas time, it's always holiday movies and shit like that. So even Easter, it's like TV is on. So with my family, TV is always on.
Wow. I'll say during Thanksgiving, during grace, we turn it off.
Hmm.
But after that, it comes right back on. For Christmas, they just leave it on. Just turn it down when we're having our grace.
Mm.
Um, Everything else is on.
Right, right, right. Ah,
So
alcohol consumption.
yeah, yeah,
Is
that.
there a limit? Is it BYOB?
Um, there is no limit
You took long to say that. I'm about to say, you about
there.
to say it's a limit?
Yeah, there is no limit. It's just expected that once you have reached your limit, go lay your ass down somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, there is no drinking and driving.
Mm.
That's something we don't do.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Bring your own. It's more or less everybody bring whatever they feel they want to drink, and you are welcome to partake in the festivities. Meaning, go
Mm.
in that cooler and grab what you want.
Right.
Um, I will say this though, here recently in my family, when we bring our coolers or they bring their coolers, because I don't drink like that, but when they bring their coolers, it's good to go. Everybody do your thing, grab what you want. But certain members now um,
Oh Lord.
just don't
Yeah.
allow other members to go in their coolers.
What the hell? Are you serious right now?
No, because listen, hear me out though. Hear me out.
I can't take it.
Because there are certain individuals within my family that feel like, because we got this family gathering, I'm
Hmm.
gonna take everybody else shit or drink up everybody else shit, and I'm gonna keep my shit to myself. Meaning, I'm gonna pop
Wow.
out my goddamn
Stop the
cooler.
press.
So that's kind of like here lately. They
Mm.
they put the brakes on that shit. Like, motherfucker, if you ain't breaking out your goddamn cooler, don't be reaching in my shit.
Get out of here. Are you serious right now?
Yes, yes. Like, I will drink up your shit, but you can't drink up my shit. What?
Mm, mm, mm,
No, we're
mm.
not gonna do that.
Wow. So for my family, and I'll just speak for the family that's here in Maryland because that's when I was really at drinking age.
Mhm.
It's always if it's there, drink it. Um, but you know, bring something just in case you want something specific, or bring something just in case we run out. It's never oh, you can't touch that, this, that, and the other. Um, and it's sometimes you might want to leave, like at grandma's house. It's like you might want to leave it there, for later, whatever the case may be. They'd be like, "Nah, take this shit. Ain't nobody gonna drink that." It's like, God
Mhm.
damn, I all right. But I don't ever recall us having a situation to where someone has drank too much where it has become a confrontation. That has never happened.
Right.
Um so yeah, there's no limits to that. When I would have stuff at my house, I would sometimes be like, "Hey, yeah, well, people would ask me if they need to bring some." I was like, yeah, bring such and such, bring such and such." And then after about 3, 4, 5 gatherings, let's say over a 3-month period, or however many over a year,
Hmm.
I'm looking at my cabinet. I'm like, God damn, why the fuck do I have all this alcohol? And it's like, I drink, but I don't drink like I used to. So it used to piss me the fuck off, because people would bring goddamn gallons of like rum or vodka or something like that. And,
Yeah.
then you have, 2 or 3 people bringing a fifth or something, or somebody bringing 2 and 3 bottles. And I'm like putting this shit up in cabinets and shit. And then I have another cabinet be like, yo, need me to bring something? Like, nah, don't bring nothing. You can bring some beer, but don't bring no liquor. And still somebody brings some damn liquor, and it's like, yo, I'm sitting there looking like this. I'm like, yo. And then after stuff started, like the family stuff started, sliding, or I would have, just get-togethers. Yo, you need
Hmm.
me to bring something? No, don't bring nothing. I got the liquor. I got the liquor. Don't bring nothing. Bring something to throw on the grill. Don't bring no liquor. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's hey, drink what you drink. No limit. I'm not responsible for you if you have to goddamn drive. If you need to lay your ass down, I got a couch, I got a room, or whatever the case may be. But outside of that, you on your own.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like, as far as like people being intoxicated and wanting to drive, um, I'm in, or I am that designated driver. So
Mm,
usually I'll take somebody either to their hotel or back home or whatever the case may be. Just go back and get them, the next day so they can come get their shit.
right,
But um, yeah, that's one thing we definitely don't do. We don't let your ass get behind the wheel if your ass. We know you fucked up.
right, right,
We
right.
know you've been drinking, and we're not gonna let your ass drive off. You're gonna go
Your ass
sleep somewhere.
two
Yeah,
shades to the wind.
that's it. Your ass can get up in the morning and go, but you ain't gonna go right
Right.
now.
Sit your ass down somewhere.
So who prepares the meals?
Um, I honestly, whoever's house it was at, and whoever was either staying there or whoever got there early, that's
Mhm.
who prepared the meals. So yeah, that's pretty much how it went. I know when I would have the family over, I would I would cook. I would try to cook everything myself. Um, but if I started cooking the day of, and I was cooking when people started coming in, they would help. But if I had the motivation, I would at least prep everything the night before. That way, I just throw it in, let it heat up, whatever the case may be. So, yeah, whoever's house is at, that's who cooks. But again, if somebody's staying there or whoever comes early, it's a group effort. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. With my family, whoever's hosting is the ones pretty much gonna be doing the cooking. Um, Again, since how my mother isn't here, it's falling on my sister's shoulder. So it's usually her and my youngest sister. My wife will pitch in. Um, my other cousins, female cousins, they'll pitch in. My dad, as far as like the grill or whatever, he'll do his thing. But
Hmm.
again, whoever's hosting is pretty much the ones handling the cooking.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. But yeah, man. It's a dope ass conversation. We talking about family
For sure.
gatherings, family feud. How do you plan for the holidays? Um, yo, it's the King in Our Life podcast, and hey, we chopping it up. But we'll definitely be back with this. Son Solex, you got anything before we jump out of here?
Only again, you guys know we out here in these social media streets. We on all major podcast platforms. You guys can reach us at kingandilife.com now. So we're so very proud of that. We
Yes.
got that website, son. So reach
Yes.
out to us.
Yeah, yeah.